Steve, how did you think Kristaps looked out there?
I thought he looked good. You know, it's never easy just going to a new team and having, one practice and playing. But you can see his talent, his feel for the game, his ability to space the floor, protect the rim. So it's good to have him on our team, that's for sure.
How do you look at this game in its entirety, from obviously the very slow start to a little?
I thought Boston was incredible. They're having an amazing season, and they're a machine right now. You know, they've done such a good job of, their staff has done a hell of a job with Joe and the group. Just, and they've got the continuity, but given the departures and the injuries, remarkable what they've done. And they just put on a clinic those first three quarters. We were slow to get moving. I never liked the first game out of the break. It never feels great to have all that time off. So I felt like we were kind of slow to get moving. It was good to see the fight and the rhythm we found late to at least make it respectable and find some momentum and rhythm for the next game, which is important.
Looked like it took Kristaps a little bit of time to get used to the offense and everything. What was encouraging about what you saw from him on that end of the floor?
Just the talent is so obvious, and the feel for the game. And you saw him post up a couple times and get buckets and, space the floor and shoot threes. And the game really flows when he's out there.
I think Porziņģis played first 4 minutes with Draymond, 8 with Al, and then the last 5 as a lone big. I'm sure there's a lot more experimenting to come, but did you learn anything from any of those alignments tonight?
Well, what we already know is that it's harder for us to play two bigs without Steph. Steph defies all rules of spacing, and without him, it's just trickier to play two bigs. But Draymond and Kristaps and Al are all really important players for us, and so we've got to figure that out. And because we're not going to just keep them separate from each other. They're 3 of our best players, and we're going to have to find better rhythm when 2 of them are out there together, for sure.
Steve, did you feel like Kristaps kind of found his rhythm a little bit more defensively there in that fourth quarter, second half? If so, what was the kind of difference between that first half and second half on that end of the floor?
Well, I mean, again, first game with a new team, it's always tricky. You don't really know your teammates. You don't really have a feel for what's happening. But I thought just from the first half to the second half, he just looked more comfortable and settled in.
Steve, you mentioned Steph's impact on lineups, right? They played 2 bigs. 6 games now without him, and at least 4 more, maybe more without him going forward. What have you sort of learned about what this group can and needs to do without all the various impacts he has?
Well, we know we have to play fast. We know we have to take care of the ball and crash, get second opportunities, and we actually did all those things tonight. We didn't get a lot of easy points in transition, but you play a game where you have 30 assists and 8 turnovers and 8 offensive boards. Like, we did a lot of good things, but as I said, that's a hell of a team, and they played an amazing game. And it didn't feel like we really found our grit and our competitiveness until second half, till it was too late. So what we know is we have to compete like crazy for 48. And, we got Denver coming in on Sunday. We've got obviously another great team coming in. We got to be better from the outset.
If I could ask a follow-up, is there also just sort of a missing swagger, I guess? Is that the right word?
Sure.
Without Steph? I mean, how would you sort of describe that?
Yeah, I mean, this league is built on, star players and playing through stars, and a big part of that is just the confidence that those guys bring. And so, we've got to learn to play without Jimmy and Steph both, and that means bringing the juice, bringing the energy, finding a little bit of swagger without those guys. And it's not easy, but we have to do it. We have to find a win.